What is up? Is a Figure Hunter, and today we're going to talk about the Helio strap. Specifically, how is it doing with auto tracking? Is it accurate or not accurate with it auto tracking workouts? And then on top of that, and more importantly, if it's using auto tracking, and we know the heart rate accuracy because I did a whole video of that. I actually have a slew of different subset videos, links in the description below. But if it's using auto tracking, is it evaluating the workout the same? So am I getting the same workout scores? Because at first I was like, wait a second. Am I getting the same workout scores just off the auto track as I would with the Balance 2, which is being manually tracked? So I'm starting and stopping. So this whole video is just to see, is it doing a pretty good job auto tracking? And are the auto tracked workouts giving you the same training scores, both in the workout itself, the aerobic effect and anaerobic training effect through recovery time? And then on top of it, is it giving you the same training load tracking, your training stress score, which is your acute load versus your chronic load? So are we getting similar results just automatically off of an accurate auto track? I can tell you out of the gate, I'm not getting any small little ancillary workouts. So I'm going to say that a few times in this because I'm not getting it. It's just basically catching up partway through the warm up, just spoiler alert. And so we're going to look at first, is it giving good auto-tracked results? Like, is it capturing the workout across 3 days just as a sample set? And number two, on those workouts, is it giving you the similar aerobic training effect and anaerobic training effect, training load, as well as recovery time? I might have left recovery time for the second subset video in this same video. So first, we're going to look at side by side the Zepp app with the Helio strap on the right and the Zepp app with the Balance 2 tracked on the left. And we're going to see, like, did it capture the workouts as if I was starting and stopping on the watch itself? Did it give the same similar stats? And what do we see in general? How do we feel about the auto track and the results it's giving workout to workout? So let's dive in. Okay, so we have on the right, you have the Helio strap. On the left, you have the Balance 2. And you can see right out of the gate, to me, this adds a lot of value because the Helio strap is showing the biocharge at 5. I had a very long workout and a very long day, and I was all over the place. And so, boom, it's actually giving me good information, whereas the readiness score, I don't think really reflected how I slept. But anyway, back to the point. So we're tracking to see, how did the exertion go? How did the exertion evaluation from an auto track compare to that which was tracked on the watch itself? So you can see on the exertion score on the right, the Helio strap, it's got 117 out of 76. I'm not sure how it set that 76 goal. And 129 on the left for the Balance 2 out of 85. So we go into the activities, and you look right away, there's one activity on the Helio strap, and it's just labeled activity, plus 117. That's the points, the PAI points. On the left, you see the Balance 2 manually tracked with a chest strap. So hear that again, manually tracked with the chest strap. Cross training 113. And the walk, that was just sort of barely anything that anybody would pick up on. So we go into these separately, and we can see that it's actually a pretty close mirror image. And the manually tracked Amazfit Balance 2 on the left and the Helio strap on the right, you can see that the Helio strap did not pick up some of that initial effort and then caught up part way. So the warm-up effort, basically. And you can see sort of some of the gauge differences. The Helio strap did not pick up that max heart rate, but did pick up in general. You can see the calorie differences, 779 versus 826. And then you can see the workout zones. But the biggest thing is that the training effect was very similar. Why the Helio strap gave me higher aerobic training effect and anaerobic training effect. And you look at the zones, there was less time in zone 5 for the Helio strap and about the same time in zone 4, but yet it gave me a slightly higher aerobic and anaerobic training effect. Don't know what that is there, but what do we see from this? We see that the auto tracked basically gave me the same type of rigor evaluation, and the training load was a little bit different for some reason. It was a little bit higher on the Helio strap at 301 versus 263. But to me, I think, it caught the workout. I just didn't have to do anything to tell it. It caught the workout, and that looks great. Now we're going to go to yesterday to see how did it do on activity yesterday. So July 21st, and we go to July 21st on the Balance 2. So July 21st, I just did a workout and very similar training load 62, the Balance 2 69, and on the Helio strap. And then this was just a low steady state cardio workout, zone 2 workout for like 65 minutes. But look at that. It actually 104 minutes on the right for the Helio strap, 107 minutes on the left, automatically tracked. Everything else somewhat similar in the workout analysis automatically. I didn't do anything. I just showed up and worked out. Now we're going to go to July 20th. I don't think this was a very hard workout at 224. And again, look at the training load and the Balance 2 relative to the Helio strap, 94 versus 96. The average time, 115 versus 125. It cut off part of that warm-up phase, so I didn't get credit for that, darn it. And 3.0 on the aerobic training effect, and about the same anaerobic. I don't ever really look at the anaerobic because I don't find that to be of value. Okay, so when I look at that, I just think spot on. I mean, it's missing some of the warm up, but I think like 3 out of 3. Low level cardio, intense work. Like in the workout I did today, as well as the workout I did 3 days ago, was just basically lifting where my heart rate was high just because I was doing more intense lifting, and then built into a CrossFit workout today. So all of it, I just felt like, great. It got all 3 workouts, 3 for 3. And no, I didn't pick up anything ancillary or out of the blue. It didn't just start tracking me washing the dishes. So the workout auto track is solid, number 1. Number 2, the heart rate accuracy, as we did in a review, as I did a whole heart rate accuracy review, you can see a full review, analytical review, in a link in the description below. Solid. Heart rate accuracy is the same. Balance 2 is connected to a chest strap. 3, it's about the same. Some are differences. I don't know why the Helio strap gave a higher training load when it had a shorter overall workout time, but it's the same basic stuff. Maybe they need to update, because I did have an update on the Balance too, so maybe it's just update related. But the same basic anaerobic training effect, or aerobic training effect and anaerobic training effect for the most part, the same basic training load, as well as the same basic recovery time. And maybe we'll see that in this next video, because I don't know if I shot it in this part. I'm trying to do a bunch of content in a row. And then now we're gonna look at, okay, now we can see it's doing the auto track correctly. It's giving good workout analysis feedback correctly, as if you had it on the, all things being equal. And now is it giving a trend line where it's giving the same training load over a long period of time, where it's giving you the same things you would see on the watch, you could see in the app with the Helio strap, just auto picking things up. So is it giving the training load volume correctly, good analysis? And then coupled with that, because the Amazfit has this exertion status, it's basically your acute training load relative to your chronic training load, which they call your fatigue relative to your fitness. Is it giving the same trend lines there, where your short-term workouts, the intensity of your workouts, is pulling up your capability to handle intense workouts? So that's the training stress score system that we're going to look at. So we're going to look at both the training load in general, like volume over a prolonged period of time, as well as the training stress score system. So with that, let's dive in. Okay, so now we're going to track training load and just see how the training load looks in general with auto-tracked activity. So on the right is the Helio strap, and on the left is the Balance 2. So together, on the training load, it's very similar. So you can see on the Balance 2, 735. You can see on the Helio strap, 792. Like we saw in that one workout, it did give a bigger training load score for some reason. And we can see the full recovery time. Now, we'll have other feelings about that recovery time from the workout today, because I think both of them are incorrectly evaluated, and I'm starting to see higher than expected training loads, which is a bad trend. But really, it's given you the same or similar information. So auto-tracked is similar output or results than manually tracked on the Balance 2 and using a chest strap. So the Balance 2 connected to a chest strap is getting a similar training load and results to what you're getting automatically tracked without doing anything in your life to the Helio strap. So these are the primary numbers you would see on your watch. If you went into training status, you'd see the training load and you'd see the full recovery time. Those seem too high, but at the same time, it's very similar I don't know why the Helio strap is giving a little more credit, because it's not like it's tracking a whole bunch more workouts. I am not finding inaccuracy with tracking workouts when they really happen. So now we go to the exertion tab like we saw before. We scroll down the exertion tab and you have your training load stress score, which they call the exertion statistics. So your fatigue level, your fitness level. So your fitness level is your chronic training load, your 30-day training load. Your fatigue level is your 7-day training load. Why those are different, I don't know, because again, the Helio strap is not counting a bunch of workouts that don't exist. It's actually doing a great job auto tracking, and it's even clipping a little bit of the warm up. So you would think that the fatigue level, but if we look at the numbers, what do we see on the fatigue level? 69 and 69. So it's giving me the same short-term training load relative, and the fitness level is somewhat similar. Now, when you get down to the training status, I don't know where those inaccuracies would be. And I don't want to necessarily go to the full graph, although we might be able to. It just might mess up the video. But either way, I feel like the fatigue level being similar, I don't know why it's got a different slope curve, and the fitness level being similar on some of the output with the auto track of the Helio seems relatively great itself. And then we're going to go into is the differences between how it tracks your training stress score, which is basically what it would be called in other systems, and how it tracks your training load. Balance 2 manually tracked with a chest strap relative to the Helio strap. Okay, so now what do we think? I think it's weird to me, because it's like, as I thought about doing this video, I thought, oh, I wonder if it's going to be the same, because it's just auto tracking. I'm not doing anything but just wearing this thing. I'm wearing it on a bicep, so loud and clear, don't wear it on the wrist if you really want accuracy in your heart rate, which flows through to everything else. But I'm wearing it on the bicep, and I'm getting great results, both in it tracking every workout. So as somebody that tracks every workout, that likes data, I would be a little insecure to say, like, what if it misses a workout and I don't get credit for that workout? Well, it's not missing workouts. It's giving full like exertion scores for like that daily exertion. I'm getting that checked off. Each real workout that I do, whether it's low-level cardio, lifting, or CrossFit, it's getting the same time span and relatively the same metrics results, anaerobic training effect, aerobic training effect, and recovery time. And then coupled with that, it's giving the same training load over trend line over time for the most part, as well as the same training stress score, where you're like acute load relative to your chronic load, and you can see your fitness growing over time, which is that chronic load. So all in all, I'm really impressed with the Helio strap. I have some opinions about the Balance 2 and its absence of biocharge and the wellness and recovery metrics being useless that affects how I feel about the Balance 2, which I'll share in the final review. But I'm impressed with the Helio strap automatically tracking these workouts and giving you the same qualitative information as the Balance 2 manually tracked. With that, it's Figure Hunter. Thanks so much for watching.